nice Evo 8 over here. Evo 9 was it? Okay, you got Caps EK9 in the front. I just love this view. It's so cool to see these interlocking maze of highways. And now we have just stumbled upon traffic. Great. All right, so we are still stuck in a little bit of traffic here, which will give me a little bit of time to talk about what I want to talk about today. And so on today's topic, I want to basically let you guys know my thoughts about whether this car is better than my previous car, which was the NA Miata. And like I was saying, the answer might surprise you. I think it really depends, to be honest, because this car was actually 10 times as expensive as my NA. Well, when I bought it, I bought the car for about $2,300, and I bought this car for about $23,000. And would I say it's 10 times better? No, actually, I wouldn't. I would say it's kind of like marginally better in every area, but it's not like 10 times better. But it is a lot cooler. That being said, it's a lot more expensive to own. I mean, like, just having, even I bought this car for $23,000, I've already put, I don't even want to count, but maybe another $10,000 just in various little things. And, for me, I really enjoyed the ownership experience of it. Actually, spending that much money on it has made me love it even more. But if you're a young guy and you're getting S2000 as your first car, I think it might break the bank for you, unless you're relatively, more well off. That's why I'd actually still recommend an NA or an NB Miata, since the NAs are getting much more expensive. Even an NC Miata, they have a reputation as being a bit of a boat, but they're actually not. Like, they're actually great cars. Would I get an S2000 over an NB? I don't know. I would get an S2000, I think. But the problem is with the S2000, to get a good one, you're now looking at spending around $25,000, which is pretty crazy. And actually, if you keep an eye out and you're willing to spend even more, maybe $30,000, $35,000, you can get one that is built pretty well, and that might be a great deal. You might be able to get one that is like a turbo or a supercharged one. At that point, it doesn't have the purity of an original S2000, but it might be a really great, really fast car. As for a completely stock S2000, if you can get one which has very low kilometers, I mean, this one has 86,000 kilometers. I think that's like about 55,000 or 50,000 miles. Then for the price, I still think it's worth it if you have wanted an S2000 forever. But a Miata is just such a great deal, and they're so easy to drive, and they're so fun, but they're slow, and they are not as exciting. It's very much a first sports car owner's car. As I got a little bit older, as I got into my 30s, it was feeling a little bit too janky, and I wanted to upgrade to something which is a little bit nicer, which is the S2000, which is why I think the NA Miata is a great precursor car to the S2000. It's gonna give you most of the experience, gonna give you that top-down experience, and I think it'll actually help you enjoy the ownership experience of the S2000 more, because you're able to compare it, not really apples to apples, but like convertible to convertible, and that comparison will be very valuable, because you'll understand how this car is better in marginal ways, and it'll make you appreciate that betterness more when you have something compared to, which frankly is like the NA Miatas these days. Even the really good ones, they'll probably be pretty high mileage. Unless you spend a lot of money on one, they're going to probably be a little bit janky. But there's nothing wrong with the janky Miata. I mean, like, for the price, they're such good deals, and I think really worth it to get an NA Miata still if you're able to find one. Or an NB Miata. An NB Miata is probably one of the best starter cars on the market today. It doesn't look as cool as the NA because it doesn't have those flip-up headlights. So next, would I say it's worth it to get an S2000 if you already own an NA Miata? My answer to that would be, if you want to take it to the next step, it likely is. It also depends on what you want to do with the car. If you want to take it to the track, to be honest, the NA Miata will probably save you a ton of money running it on the track. You likely will have more fun because you're worrying about it less. With a car that costs 10 times as much, the consumables are going to be a lot more expensive. You're going to be spending so much money, you might not have as much fun as if you are spending way less money, but you're going almost as fast, like on the track. Really on the track, you're really limited by the speeds on the straights, but in the corners, a well put together NA Miata will probably be as fast as an S2000. So it is what it is. So it comes down to if you want the lifestyle of the S2000, which is, it's kind of like the Miatas, the next step up from the Miata in a lot of ways. It is definitely the better car, but it is not 10 times better. So you gotta think about that. So in conclusion, what I recommend that you guys pick up an S2000. Well, for me, it's my dream car, and fortunately, I've been in a position where I've been able to afford a lot of it. If you're in a position where you are still you're able to have it in your life and without too many compromises, I think this is definitely a great second car, a great weekend car, a great project car. So if you have something already like a WRX or like a Camry or some daily, having this as a second car might be really fun, and the ownership experience is great. It's very exciting to own. All right, we're finally getting into traffic, so I'm gonna stop this video here. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode of this video, which probably will be when we are at Spoon for this series. We're gonna check out the FK8. It'll be nice to compare it with the EK9. So we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this was a little bit helpful to making a decision about whether to buy an S2000 or not. So see you guys later. Bye.